Welcome. Again, long time no see. Sorry again. But I just want to quickly push this one out as it's to discuss this guy on your screen here, Anthony Gordon. He's just signed for Newcastle in a £45 million deal from Everton. Um, I was shocked because it kind of came out of absolute nowhere. Like literally about 2 days ago, they'd made an offer. Um, Everton accepted. I don't know if there was any push internally from Anthony Gordon. I'm assuming there would have been, because I don't think Everton would have been willing to let him go without it, because he always seemed like he was going to be an important player for Everton. He has had a quiet season, but well, who watches the Premier League knows exactly how it's been going for Everton in the Premier League this season. They've been shocking. They've just got rid of the manager. By the looks of it, reports are that they're very close to appointing Sean Dyche. But I will discuss that maybe in another video, which I think I will. Once the appointment goes through, I think I will do a video on Sean Dyche becoming Everton manager. But I want to discuss, obviously, Anthony Gordon and his move to Newcastle. Do I think this is a good move for Newcastle? I do. I think he will add that a little bit more something to Newcastle on the wings. Obviously, St. Maximan's been, a bit MIA recently. He's not really getting game time. Almiron's obviously been on fire. And obviously, Anthony Gordon is a very young player. Everton obviously saw the potential in him. He's got a bit of fire in him. We saw it mainly last season. We haven't really seen it this season because, like I said, Everton they've just been that poor that it's been hard to get really anything out of Anthony Gordon this season. But I do think it is a boost for Newcastle, and I do think it is the sort of transfer that suits both parties. If he didn't want to be at Everton, it's pointless keeping him. Newcastle have got themselves a great youngster who I think can do a great job at Newcastle United. I do believe he can. Obviously, potential for now anyway, Champions League football. But I think it's going to be one of them where, although I think he's going to do a great job, it's also one of them that you've got to be careful of. Because if he does flop, you've then just going to spend £45 million on a player that you're not going to be able to sell for that amount again, because no team's going to pay £45 million for a player who's out of form. It's just simple as that. I mean, we've seen it with. I'm a Manchester United fan, but we saw it with Pogba at Man U. If Man U would have ever wanted to get rid of Pogba, we would not have recouped any of the £85 million we signed him for. And I definitely think it's one of them where you've got to be careful. But I do think he will do better at Newcastle than he has at Everton. Last season, it was great for Everton. He was one of the main reasons for their survival. He was absolutely amazing. This season, like I said, he's been a bit quiet. But I think the main thing for me, what makes me think he can succeed at Newcastle, is Eddie Howe. And you've seen what he's done with certain players. Joe Wellington, he's turned him into an absolute monster in midfield. He came to Newcastle as a striker, flopped. It never really did anything up front. You turned him into a midfielder and he's been absolutely fantastic. And then you've seen, Almiron and how immense he's been this season. And this is all because of Eddie Howe. And I do think Eddie Howe is the sort of manager that can get the best out of his players. So this is why, one of the reasons why I think now that it suits Newcastle, because at Everton they clearly weren't getting the best out of him. Frank Lampard this season for some reason just couldn't get the best out of him compared to the end of last season. And Eddie Howe, and you've seen what you've done with his players. Like I said, the two I mentioned in especially Miguel Almiron and Joe Wellington, who I think have been immense. And, Newcastle's transfer policy, you look at it and then you look at teams like Chelsea who are just going absolutely stupid and paying stupid money for players that no one's even heard of. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea also, they're building for the future, but they're making stupid deals. In my opinion, I think this has just been a pathetic transfer window for Chelsea. I think they're just going out and buying players just because they can. I don't think they're going to add anything to the squad. And then you look at Newcastle. I think Anthony Gordon will add something to the squad. I think he will come in, and I think he will have an impact. Obviously, they want to push for the top four. And I think Anthony Gordon can help them do that. Obviously, now the problem is for Everton is they've now lost a player who could potentially save them from relegation. Because he can be a game changer on his day, Anthony Gordon. And Everton have gone and lost that now. I've heard a lot of being said about the £45 million. For a player that this season hasn't done much, but we saw at the end of last season the potential he does have. And that's what makes me think that Eddie Howe, in my opinion, is one of the best managers in the league to probably get the best out of him and bring that quality that we all saw at the end of last season and help Newcastle push on now for the top four. Obviously, we're coming up to the end of the transfer window, so it's going to be busy. It's going to be a very busy time. I will try and keep you all up to date on the latest transfers. I might even do a Moise Caicedo video and the situation evolving him and evolving around Brighton. And obviously a potential move to Arsenal there. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. If you did enjoy, obviously please leave a like and please subscribe because I will be trying to now keep on top of everything that is going on. Anyway, guys, I will see you soon.